Mr. Wale Fatade joins us on the program. Always a delight. Commissioning editor of The Conversation Africa. Thank you, sir, for coming on the program.
Jeff and Ken, our first time together. Good morning. Excuse me. Good morning, viewers.
As always, let's start with what is happening in your region, which is the Southwest region. I know you have a lot of comments, and there's a lot that has happened in our country. Like every other day you wake up, there's one depressing story or the other. But that's what me and you signed up for.
Oh, yeah. And that's why PTSD is real with journalists.
Yeah, I think sometimes we need to get our mental health
sorted
because
it's real with us.
Some people have the luxury of saying, I don't like watching TV. TV's our work.
And I tell them, if you don't watch, then that means very soon me that you know might be out of job. So if you don't listen to news or you don't watch news.
All right, let's go to the This Nigeria. This Nigeria is our first paper. Southwest governors to federal government. State police can no longer wait. Governors raise alarm over criminal takeover of regional forest. Southwest governors to FG. State police can no longer wait. Governors raise alarm over criminal takeover of regional forest. What do you make of this story?
Well, the symbolism of that meeting is not lost on me. Coming a day or 2 days after Sheyi Gumi left Ibadan. And I'm
interesting
happy.
Is going to be our next.
Yeah, I'm happy that he's here. Someone for me who is a person of interest, as security agents will say. And so, but at another level, even though the situation we are in now should make us rise above the bifurcation or the dichotomy of us versus them, but for Southwest, there are 6 states. 4 of those states are under the purview of APC governors. So the statement that you read out, I listened to that, shows that at a certain level they are admitting that the APC government at the center had failed. And the other question you asked about, the senators from our Southwest, the House of Reps member, how many of them are in the forefront of state police agitation? Part of what the APC campaigned about was their state police. Now, it's nearly 3 years. Yeah, when you have 2 years and a half, that's almost 3 years. May 29, 2023. How come? Why did we wait until now? But be that is May, it's important enough now, and it's heartwarming that our governors have come to recognize the fact that look, we sink together or we swim ashore together, and that's important. So if they are putting their money where their worth is, and I think this moment one must pay tribute to the memory of the late Ekweremadu, who drove the Amotekun initiative, which to a large extent has helped in Southwest.
When I read the statement, I was like, okay, it's like something is drawn here.
Oh, the day is broken. And what does that say? Hope does spring eternal. So eventually, they know that we are in a big mess.
Because especially, I would like you to speak to the part where they talked about those forests literally being overrun, putting it in
what have language. They been looking at? What have they been doing?
Taken over by bandits, kidnappers,
until Trump threatened to invade Nigeria. Why were they not talking about that? Those of us who have been shouting about that, those of us who have been complaining that things are happening in the Southwest, we were always shouted down. And it's as if that my terrorists are better than yours, or what kind of situation are we in? It's glaring now that our situation transcends party boundaries now. And a huge mess.
All right. It's interesting because now that the Southwest governors have met, I understand that the Northern governors are also planning to meet.
Oh yeah, I listened to that on the radio as I was coming there. Yeah.
They're going to meet this Saturday as well. This is not the first time they've had that meeting. I know I've covered one in 2019. It's like whenever there's elections or pre-election year, they always get to meet. So sometimes it begs the question if this is just about politics and all of that. But let's head on and just stay with security, but this time the leadership which leads with the happenings in Kebbi states, alleged troop withdrawal before abduction, reactions as Kebbi governor asks National Assembly to probe military, and there have been questions really begging for answers as to who exactly gave the order that the military should be withdrawn from that school just before the attack was carried out. And this perhaps paints a picture of what we have had to go through, issues around compromise, about the fact that it looks like there is a mole somewhere inside the military that for every time we see these things happen. The Brigadier General who was killed recently, we hear was ambushed as well. So who exactly gave the order, Mr. Saturday?
I like that. I wish I have the answer. But I think, Ken, with due respect, it's not just a mole, there are moles. Remember, and that's part of what is losing, or what is missing rather, in our reporter given us journalists. Similar scenario played out in Chibok. That the President Jonathan said that, his aides then said that there was an order to withdraw. They knew those things, those people were coming. That's why they said the school certificate exam should be suspended, whatever. Yeah. So it's similar now. And the governor has been shouting, and by the way, I think I first watched him on your station last week, one night, either the second night or the night of the attack, that was his comment. It was in the blue agbada, I remember very well. And so, even if the National Assembly is not problem, the military authority have been silent. I thought our colleagues covering defense, the defense reporter, should have put that question to the defense spokesperson, Major General, I can't remember his name now. Ask that question. Who exactly gave this order? Is it not real? Is it not happening? And that's important. And there's another thing we need to, I think last week again, the President Tinubu met with the Chief of Army Staff and with the Service Chief. Yeah. And that's wrong. We did not see the Chief of Defense Staff there. And so, you see, if we want to follow the kind of structure, the President is the Commander-in-Chief. When service chiefs are meeting with the President, they might tend to be loyal to him, not to the state. And I'm speaking of the nation state now. And so, the interface between the service chief should be with the Chief of Defense Staff there. And by the way, where was the Minister of Defense? So those are issues. There are many layers we need to sift through, we need to separate through. There could have been sabotage. And we need to shed more light on that area.
Do you think we're honest as a people with this issue?
Who are we? As a country?
As a collective.
Oh, we are not. We are not. Oh, we are not. No. The answer is no. We are not. The answer is no. Look at the memo that was issued. That some federal government colleges should be closed down. The Ministry of Education came out denying the memo, but yet we've seen visuals or footage of students being withdrawn from those schools. So who is lying to who? We saw the federal government college, is it Buhari or Kwali, that people are withdrawing their children? The pictures were there in the papers yesterday. And yet the government, and so the leaders have serially lied to us. And so people have come to not even believe whatever the leaders say. And that's so significant in the fight against terror now.
The reason I asked that question is as a follow-up of what, I think there's a new Telegraph now. When we're looking at this, as far as this is concerned. Now, there's something the New Telegraph, at the bottom of the New Telegraph, is reading with. It says, education suffering political bandits attack. Education suffering political bandits attack. That's according to ASU. And I'm interested in the rider. I say, as crucial talks with FG begin, workers' rights undermine under intensive coordinated assault, Nigeria's education in the throes of insecurity. So how did we get to a point where going to school is a risk?
It's a risk.
Not for university students, first time. It used to be
for elementary school
for
students.
Children.
Yeah, elementary
because
school
students. These days I see all kinds of, permit me to use the word, ludicrous things. When I was in uni, a policeman can't come into my school. You cannot.
We fought that.
You cannot come into my
university.
I was
an undergraduate under military rule. We fought that massively.
You cannot enter my school.
And people were actually rusticated. I remember in University of Ibadan, 1990 or 91 now, for throwing flip-flops, bathroom slippers at the president, Babangida then, who came out the other state, who came to our campus.
I said that to say because there's a way we manage our own thing.
Yeah.
But now, primary school children are being kidnapped.
And you know,
how did we get here?
That comes, we should not lose sight of our indicators. We have one of the worst and highest rate of out-of-school children. We have one of the worst rates whereby the girl child is not attending school, and yet we are closing school. And I was just imagining when that thing broke that. As a younger person, as a child, as a kid, I used to suffer from bout of malaria attack. No thanks to my blood genotype AA. But you could not keep me away from school. You could not. I would still struggle. I mean, my parents were teachers. Thank God for them. But you could not say, well, I just sleep. I said, no, I must be in school. Even though I might end up coming back home at 10 a.m. or 10:30, but I want to go to school. I mean, you could imagine a lifetime opportunity or denial that we are making or we are giving to these children now. And so, in some of these reasons, some of these things that will later result in child marriage, because there's nothing left for the children to do.
Interesting. Okay, I think we'll see with that paper. Okay.
I'm just going to ask, I mean, this issue of the military and compromise and all of that. So we have changed service chiefs over and over again, and yet we still see that we have informants in the military.
What does that tell you, Ken?
So I'm wondering, so how do we now fix
it? Tell us that the change of service chief is not the solution. And so until a problem is solved, you keep on finding other solutions. But you see, I mean, look
how do we solve this challenge now? Because it looks like we're just going to go around in circles. And that's what's played out.
The competence of people that are managing our defense sector. Are they really the best hands? You guys are featured a plethora of generals who, when they speak, you know they understand what they are saying. They know what they are saying. Why is our country not utilizing them? Across the different service. Army, Navy, Air Force, you have brought them here, different programs on channels alone, not to talk of what other colleagues are doing in other stations. So why is our government not utilizing them? Now, the present defense minister, who are his contacts outside Nigeria, who can he speak with? Does he understand the defense industry? Does he understand the defense sector? Have we never asked ourselves whether it's a Republican in White House or a Democrat? They always appoint Republican members as Secretary of Defense. And to be somebody who has been following that in sector, who has been following that, whether from the intelligence section or from the service section. So why are we not like that?
Are you saying that President Bola Tinubu sacrificed an essential part of our life, which is security, on the altar of politics? Because Bello Matawalle, for instance, with the greatest sense of respect, we know how his leadership was.
The answer is blowing in the wind. The scorecard is what we have here. That's all. I mean, when you are out of your depth, there's nothing you can do. I mean, look at we had this Sahelian Forces Joint Task Force, which because of our ECOWAS issue, we dismembered or we truncated ourselves. A wise person or somebody who can foresee evil will recognize that, look, in as much as we are the leader of ECOWAS or the president at that time, we should be careful in driving this. We need the support of Mali, of Niger, of Chad, all of them because of the Sahelian problems. But no, we broke our alliance with them. So the kind of interagency collaboration, inter-country collaboration, we lost that. And a lot has been read, has been written and said about this. Is our government listening?
The question too around
our rules started leaking a long time ago.
Mr. Fatade, there are those who think that this is like a trend or a pattern. Pre-election year or 2 years to elections, we always see this heightened pressure on governance or governments or the president and all of that is government at the center. They believe that it's a political thing where just before an election year, you know, we always see that pressure.
The tension is raised, or the tension is stoked.
The temperature is high.
The temperature is high.
Yes.
But then I pray, and I'm praying sincerely, that there will be Nigeria by 2027, the way we are going. If we don't know that fire is at the door, or our roof is leaking, or our house is on fire.
So this sounds different. It's not.
Oh, you know, there are those who think Nigeria will always come back from the brink of precipice. And we are just gifted with, we are like that cat with 9 lives. We'll recover. But I really hope so. Because if our government will not rise up, I know that it's not time for politics. It's time for decisive action.
Okay, let's start with the New Telegraph. Maybe we'll talk about it again. But there's another, just below the nameplate there. UK rejects FG's request to transfer Ekweremadu to Nigeria. UK rejects FG's request to transfer Ekweremadu to Nigeria. Was convicted of what we know he was convicted, and now we saw an attempt to bring him back. Why do you think Nigeria is interested in bringing him back?
As a father,
why is the federal government interested in bringing Ekweremadu back?
As a father, my heart goes to Ekweremadu.
To him, yeah.
As a father, I mean, I'm emotional when it comes to my children, and I would go to any length, but I recognize I must stay within the ambit of the law. I mean, we have little diplomatic capital left globally. So the little we have, we are still expending on that. Excuse me, what is the importance of Mr. Ekweremadu to where we are as a country now? Is he the only Igbo leader that the president can deal with? And I mean, when the news actually broke, I remember I was outside Lagos. As I was driving and I was listening to the radio, I was like, it's not true. I really thought it was one of these kind of as the Yoruba people will say, rumor. And I actually felt that. So there was a diplomatic movement, there was a diplomatic vestige or imprimatur on that visit. I mean, the UK does not run on sentiments. Their laws are very clear. You serve your time when you do the crime, and that's all. A former governor, James Ibori, once he finished his time, what happened? And so it was just a waste of taxpayers' money, and I think that should be refunded. And we expended precious and dwindling diplomatic capital. This time, when we need all the world on our side, is somebody that was convicted for a crime, duly convicted. We are not talking about the conviction. We're not talking about the process was manipulated. We all agree that the process was as fair and as strict as possible. Come on.
Maybe Nigeria has decided to finally wake up and look out for its citizens. Don't you think?
So Ekweremadu is the only person. What about people that are dying on the Mediterranean Sea? What about people that are dying in the what's this canal between France and Britain? Is it the French canal or whatever they call it? I mean, what about that? What about the many of our citizens that are still going through the desert to leave Nigeria?
Just maybe in a minute or less, I'd like you to just speak to this because it's also trending. Staying with the New Telegraph, Akpabio unveils Counterterrorism Strategic Plan 2025 to 2030, and so we saw this last night. The 5-year strategic plan to tackle issues around insecurity and all of that. Again, you think the response from the US is what has made our leaders to change?
No, I don't think that I'm sure that plan must have been on before. I want to believe that it should not have been.
But will this what does this portend for Nigeria? But because this appears more like a cosmetic and political solution rather than something.
Money will show the day. So when we see it working, we will know that the plan is worth it. But until people can walk safely, until children, as we have said, can go to their schools in different parts of Nigeria, until Boko Haram is not winning as they are winning now, until people do not come on social media with military fatigue, camouflage dressing, and with guns or machine guns dangling, with the bullets dangling on their shoulder and telling us there's nothing you can do to us, then we will know there's a plan.
Mr. Fatade, always a pleasure to have you on the program. Always a delight.
Thank you.
Mr. Wale Fatade is the commissioning editor of The Conversation Africa. Thank you, sir. You need to come more regularly. We can't be giving you this fortnight.
We can always talk about that later. We can always talk about that later.
Okay, we'll take a break. When we come back after the break, we're talking national security. Sheikh Ahmad Gumi, an Islamic cleric, will be joining us in just a moment. Stay with us.